Previously on the Rod Peterson Show.
Hard Knocks debuted the 2021 season last night on HBO. I watched it, featuring America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. And it's funny, this morning, USA Today had a headline, 5 takeaways from Hard Knocks. I started reading it. I'm like, what am I reading this for? I don't need your 5 takeaways. I got a couple. Number one, I was not the biggest Dak Prescott fan. I think people that watch this show know that. I'm less of a Dak Prescott fan coming out of watching this show. What a whiner. What a whiner. Look, I understand you want to take every rep. I get it. You can't take every single rep. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He was very upset
that he couldn't.
That he was pulled early in this training camp a couple of weeks ago because they want to give the backups some work. Danny Bonaducci, the backup quarterback. Well, Ben DiNucci is his name, but I call him Danny Bonaducci, which means nothing to you, do you? He was the star of the Partridge Family. Anyways, that was one. Dak, come on, stop whining. Let these other guys have some work. And then, of course, he ends up getting hurt. 2, the biggest one was Jera. When he was talking to the team, I thought it was the head therapist. You said it was the team doctor.
Yeah, it was one of the two.
Yeah. So he's writing with an HB pencil these notes on Dak, talking with the medical staff on the phone. And we all take away different things. But my thing was this. He's eating a McDonald's Egg McMuffin, Jera Jones. And people are saying, well, what's odd about that? He's worth $7-8 billion. How did he not have a Red Seal chef at his ready? You know, here you go, Mr. Jones. With his choice, an omelet station.
Yeah, exactly. He's got Benedict or something like.
Right. An omelet station. A guy cutting a roast at the end of the table. Jerry, when you're done with the trainer, we have your choice here of ham, roast beef. Do you want that in your omelet, Mr. Jones?
Get ready for the Rod Peterson Show. Now,
how did this fly get in there? Somebody got a fly swatter?
yeehaw!
It was a shot of Prairie Jesus is really what it was.
It was.
You'd think we would be getting used to it, but we never get used to it. We never get tired of good things happening.
This life doesn't get old.
No. It was a nice little distraction from the real world, and here we are today for a coffee session.
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
It absolutely is. Hello, how about that? It's the way this Monday's going, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, hello, welcome everybody. It's the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. It is your favorite sports and entertainment talk show. It's on Monday. Is it ever? And it's episode number 742 coming to you live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We got the Moose here up on the stage at the Stage Bar. How you doing, Moose?
I'm doing good.
Hey, for those that are watching, this is the shot that we've only been here 2 months, and this is finally the shot that I've wanted.
Right.
From day one. It's not anybody's fault. We had to get clearance. We had to get permission. We had to get all this stuff. And I know the people listening to the podcast right now have no idea what I'm talking about. But here we are, and you're getting a look at this beautiful casino, Alberta's busiest, finest. It's been our home for a couple of months now, Moose. And doesn't it just look great? This is what I wanted.
Yeah, it looks awesome. So, no, it's fun to be back in the actual casino floor here.
Some action.
Yeah.
Some action. Some sizzle and some pop.
The event center is great, but the event center is what it gets rocking for the shows. That's where you want to be for the shows.
And the buffet's just over my left shoulder. How about that? Maybe we'll hit that up a little later on. Anyways, we're ready to talk sports today. Yes, sir. Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans all across North America and the world. The show's been shifting in and out in terms of guests and times today. There are going to be a lot of football guests today, which is cool. Canadian Football Hall of Famer, 3-time Grey Cup champion, and the head coach of the University of Saskatchewan Huskies football program, Scott Flory, is going to be with us in hour one. Toronto Argonauts middle linebacker Enoch Mwamba, a good and longtime friend of mine. Enoch Mwamba is going to be with us in hour two. And Greg Peterson. Man, can we get down on some stories with Pete? No relation, but a Grey Cup winning safety for the Calgary Stampeders. Their longtime radio color man, Greg Peterson, is going to be joining us a little later on here. right at the Stage Bar Grey Eagle. Hopefully he can find it because we've been moving back and forth from venues, and I don't like that. But nobody cares what I think. I'm only the host of the show. It's only the Rod Peterson Show. But why would anybody care what I want?
I know. Sometimes it's the venue and part of the deal. And
they want to share us.
They want us to be involved in all these different places, show off the whole
I understand that. It's just a little confusing for the guests. So, yeah, Pete, we're going to be at the Stage Bar. Come on into the casino today. All right, before we hit the Quick Six show horn, and it's going to be Moose and I for the first two segments, so we got a lot of time here to kill and fart around. Tell your friends we're live on Game Plus TV right now, and we're live streaming on YouTube. Let's get the viewership up. Let's hit the like button. Tell your friends to subscribe. And I appreciate that it's been a long weekend since we've been on the air, and everybody's getting all jacked up in the comments. And this chat, hang on. We got our stuff we want to say. So it's Monday morning, and we want to get to the photo album, okay? So, Clark, if you don't mind, fire up some of our photos from a wonderful weekend for the RP show. This is your photo. You take it away.
Oh, mine's first. Okay, so we've got the Rush game. They played San Diego on Saturday night. Jeff Shatler's last game of his career at home, last home game of his career. They got one left. Rush are going to miss the playoffs, unfortunately, but it was a great crowd, like 10,000 in attendance, awesome atmosphere there. Fan appreciation night. And what else we got?
Move it along.
There we go. Went for Sunday brunch. Enjoyed Saskatoon. That was at Poached, downtown Saskatoon. Loved the food scene in that city.
Okay, let's move them along, boys. Please and thank you. And you again.
Last one. That's the drive from Calgary, and I put that up on social. I had to stop and take photos. It's such a beautiful drive coming back into this great city.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's keep them rolling. Let's get good. I took that. I was standing there. And if you follow me on social media, you see that I said sometimes you just have to stop and take a picture. And I did. I found the turquoise water moose.
Yep.
It's here at Banff, Alberta. Okay. That was Saturday night at the NMAX Centrium. I went up and watched some junior hockey, and it was amazing. It was the Red Deer Rebels and Brandon Wheat Kings. Brandon prevailed in overtime 2-1, and this is the last one. It's kind of a paparazzi creeper shot, but that is the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, Ken Holland, whom I did go and speak to the Oilers staff after I took this photo, but yeah, Ken was there. And okay, if you can bring it to me, I see a lot of great comments coming in. I'll just say this about the Oilers people. There was relief emanating off of them, like, I would say steam, but it's not steam. It was like a mist of relief coming off them.
Yeah.
That they had clinched on Friday night. And we did have a long talk about various other things. I can't divulge what they were about, obviously, but bravo to the Oilers. And as you see over Moose's shoulder, I picked that Oilers jersey up on the weekend. It doesn't take much to get this province turned on to the Edmonton Oilers.
No, it really doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
Win a few games, everything's great again. And now you would think this is the Oilers that started the season like a cannon out of the gun, right? I mean,
yes,
they were on fire to start the year. Everybody thought they were going to the Stanley Cup playoffs. And then everybody thought they needed to blow it up when they were struggling. Change the coach, win some games, and now everything's good again.
Right. So I'm walking into the casino this morning, and I got two jerseys I'm holding up. A Flames and an Oilers with some of the staff. And I'm like, boys, who are we going with? And they're pointing at the Oiler jersey.
What?
Right? It's just there's something about the Oilers that they love here. It doesn't take much to get them turned on. Anyways, Wendell Weeb watching on YouTube says, love the venue, guys. This is the thing. For 2 months, this is where we've been. This is what I've been looking at. And I'm like, who cares what I'm looking at? Let the viewers see how awesome this is.
Yeah.
So we finally got it, and here we are. Enough preamble. Can you hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan? Please and thank you. Appreciate you. There were so many games in the NHL on Sunday that I'm not going to go through all of them one by one, Moose. But here's the important ones. The Oilers had their 4-game losing streaks snapped in their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 5-2 loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Winnipeg Jets extended the Colorado Avalanche's loss streak to 4 games with a 4-1 win. The Boston Bruins defeated the Montreal Canadiens 5-3, and the Toronto Maple Leafs came back to beat the Washington Capitals 4-3 in a shootout. Austin Matthews was held goalless for a 5th straight game. During the Capitals' loss to the Leafs, superstar Alex Ovechkin crashed hard into the boards early in the third, was taken out of the game. I don't know if you got the notification this morning. It says that it's day-to-day and not serious. Although, can we really trust the notifications anymore? Because you saw last week, there was a report out of Vegas that Robin Leonard's done for the year. He backed up Logan Thompson on Sunday.
Right. So, I mean, until he plays, we don't know, but he's in the lineup. And with Ovechkin, day-to-day, yeah. And it should be concerning because the playoffs are right around.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm not going through all the... I had some notes written down here, like Ryan Getzlaf. The Ducks, I believe, lost their last game.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's a friends and family game. Nobody cares. Literally friends and family, because all Getz's family was there in his last game. Where's the score of it? The Blues. Yeah, they lost 6-3. They got spanked.
Yeah.
And but you see Getz's behind the back pass on the tape of his winger, and he scored. I'm like, why is he retiring?
I know.
But I've been in Anaheim. I've watched the games. He's a star there, Ryan Getzlaf. He just does what he wants out on the ice. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He's Olympic gold medalist. I think he just doesn't want to do it anymore. That's the sense that I get. He's made $10 million. He was very emotional there last night. And I got to say, I think he's the best athlete in Regina history, I think.
Yeah.
Although John Ryan's up there, too, Super Bowl champion.
Right.
It depends. What's your pizza or ice cream? They're both awesome. What do you like more? And in 2007, after the Ducks had won the Stanley Cup, Getz was like 19. And he called me, and he's like, can you MC my rally that I'm having with the Stanley Cup? I don't really know. He's 19, man.
Right.
He started shaving. He's like, I don't even really know what I'm doing. Will you come down to the center of the arts and just be around, and we're going to have a road hockey game, and would you ref it, and can you announce it? And Capital gave him they had a little parade.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's cool.
And now it's over. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. And then Guy Lafleur, which I know means nothing to you because you're not old enough. It's not your fault.
Right.
Guy Lafleur. Like, what did you think of the plaudits for this guy?
I know. I know. And what the thing for me is, I tell you, my first memory of watching hockey that I can vividly picture in my mind is 94, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Rangers and Devils. But, so... You know, when I think of Lafleur, they talk about him as one of maybe the greatest Canadian ever, you know, with what he did. And he holds so many team records. And I know that name carries so much weight. I would have thought he played in the 1800s. He played in the 70s, 80s, and a couple seasons in the 90s. I mean, when the game was getting a little tougher and more checking, and he was still so amazing. So I wish I would have got to see him play.
Yeah, I'm just checking in from some of the viewers here. There's so much going on. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg. Canada Life Center was packed with Saskatchewan teams and families in Winnipeg for the North American Hockey Classic on the weekend. Even the PA Raiders were there because the highway was closed. Nick T says, good morning from Lake Cowichan, Vancouver Island, just up the road from Victoria. From John Kirby in Edmonton says, I lost interest in the United States Football League. It's boring. I get it. I didn't watch any of it this weekend. John also says that you're a little blurred, or is it just the lighting? I don't know what it is. I don't know if you got to hit refresh or text to the guys.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Trevor says, great start for the Moose Jaw Warriors on the weekend. Furcus pulls off the Michigan in game one. My brother called me and told me about Jagger Furcus doing the lacrosse goal in a 2-1 game, and he scored on it.
He scored.
So I said, do you have a problem with it? He said, I have no problem with it. And that's my brother who played junior hockey, university hockey. No, I don't have a problem with it. Just when you do it, be prepared to have your teeth crushed in. Just so we know that could happen.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into that?
Do what you want. I'm just saying, Don't come in and skill it up.
Right.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that today. But
I know. But that's the same. Doesn't matter if it's a lacrosse goal, a wraparound goal, cutting hard to the front of the net. Whenever you're going to make a move, like the defense needs to find a way. That will be the response, right? Is they're just going to start stepping into guys to try and shut that down because it's such a lethal move.
I know everybody's so excited to talk and have coffee here this morning. Ted in Red Deer says Lafleur, Belleville, Moran's, Richard, the Habs, Mount Rushmore. In my opinion, is that where we're going today? Because I'm here for it. Montreal Canadien, the Mount Rushmore. You didn't have a goalie on there. What's wrong with you? Jacques Plante, Patrick Roy.
you need a Mount Rushmore of Habs goalies.
What? Right?
And I thought about that, and like, where do you put some of the Habs that I grew up watching? Started in '94, so they haven't been very good, right?
No.
So where do you put some of the long-serving captains? You know, where do you put Carey Price on that list? Weird name, but where do you put Saku Koivu on the list of Canadian greats, even though he didn't win anything?
You don't.
You know, is it that simple?
You wonder why all the Habs are wearing numbers like 79 and 63. It's because all the numbers are retired.
Go on.
Right. And I'll say, it's funny, man, are we getting sidetracked, but that's okay. Andrew Stute, Habs fan, originally from Quebec, writes in. He says, good morning, Rod. Bon matin, Andrew. He says, from sunny Regina. Well, what? And I mean what? A ceremony last night for Guy Lafleur. The Habs just do things right when it comes to ceremonies. Merci pour tout le de Mont Blanc. Je t'aime. I could cry. Like Guy Lafleur, you read my 10 Things column that I wrote on the weekend at rodpeterson.com. He's my favorite skater. In Canada, we designate these things. My favorite player was Ken Dryden first, and then Lafleur. But my dad wouldn't let me cheer for Montreal. And I'm not going to say what he said. I couldn't do it.
Right.
It's kind of tough. But they were on television every Saturday night. They were winning. Similar to why you like the Leafs. They were on television every Saturday night. They just weren't winning, but... Yeah. Guy Lafleur with his blonde hair. He was so fast. His hair stuck out behind him. And then his jersey. And then we find out that he was chain smoking darts. Like he died of lung cancer, which is the sad thing. But we were just so stunned. And we didn't have a problem that he smoked. All our parents smoked. It's just...
Right.
But Guy Lafleur? Really? Look at him skate. But it's Quebec. Have you ever walked out of the Bell Center in between periods? It's like walking through a forest fire. He's a Quebecer. That's what they do. Yeah. So, yeah. If you are you Facebook friends with Chris Nyland?
Yes.
Did you see his photo of the ice? They had a photo of Nyland like projected on the screen and Guy Lafleur. I'm sure Knuckles will have that put up on it. He should, framed in his house on the St. Lawrence River there. Anyways, seat from Todd Pinkney Pinks. He says Ken Dryden has to be on the Mount Rushmore. Can't have a Mount Rushmore and not have a goalie on it. Nick in BC says lots of players smoked back then. Lemieux did. Of course he did. He's from Quebec. They all smoke. Like I say, you walk out of Bell Center in between periods and it's like, yeah. That's just the Habs dressing room.
Right.
Okay. Moving on. Connor Bedard led Canada's national men's under-8 team with a hat-trick as part of an 8-3 win over Germany, giving the Canadians their first victory at the 2022 IIHF World Under-18 World Championship. Bedard set a pair of Canadian records in the win, surpassing Matthew Barzal as Canada's all-time leading scorer at the Under-18 Worlds and moving ahead of Shane Wright as Canada's all-time leading goal scorer. Bedard now has 11 goals and 19 points in 9 games at the tournament. The question is, how much bronze do we need to order for the statue of Connor Bedard? And where will we be putting it?
Well, there's got to be one outside the Brand Center.
I think one outside of every arena in Canada, I think.
Yeah. Seems fair.
How can you hate the kid? Did you see the haters? Like, what? There's nothing you can say. Just stop. You're making a fool of yourself.
Yeah.
He's the best player of his generation. Because you remember at the start of the year, people were like, oh, he's not getting 2 points a game. What a loser.
I know.
Oh, yeah? He's like, hold my beer.
Because he had 2 points a game as a 15-year-old. So they thought he came back.
He's not what we thought.
Yeah.
No, he's better than what even I thought. Point 3, the Toronto Raptors look to stay alive once again when they square off with the 76ers Monday night in Philadelphia in Game 5 of their first-round series. Raps All-Star guard Fred VanVleet is listed as questionable for the game with a strained left hip flexor. He played less than 15 minutes in the Raps' 110-102 win over Philly on Saturday. You haven't watched any of the Raptors because you've been traveling, you've been working, you haven't watched any of it, right?
Right.
But I got to say this, the Raptors theme on Saturday for Game 4 was win the day. That was what the head coach, Nick Nurse, said. All we got to do is win today. And I don't know if you watched SportsCenter. I watched it 3 times today. Nick Nurse saying on there, Well, no team's ever come back from 3-0, but we won, and we're now 3-1, and teams have come back from 3-1. This guy might be the most positive dude.
I love it.
Roaming the planet.
I love that. Because it is. You know, forget about it. You're done. The situation you're in today is you're down 3-1. And teams
Just win the day.
Teams have overcome that.
You know what? Anybody can do anything for one day. Anybody. That's the truth. And now Joel Embiid is hurt.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got a series. You got Leo, Uncle Leo, Routen's trash talking Embiid on Twitter.
I know. I am now into it. And just because I wasn't watching doesn't mean I wasn't following the updates. And yeah, we got a series. You're right. You're down 3-1, but we got a series.
Gonna watch a game tonight, maybe here at the Stage Bar.
Yeah.
Speaking of ripping darts, well, this would be the place.
We'll share a pack down there.
Yeah.
Watch the game.
From Tacona and Winnipeg, Bedard is sensational in all caps. Jack Fulton says, love Rod, hold my beer. We're way over time. Did anybody want to tell me that? We got a break. We'll be right back and continue the warm-up. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network. Live, as you can see, from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show.
All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
And we are broadcasting live from that beautiful locale. Great Eagle Resort and Casino in the foothills of the Rockies. And it is the warm-up. It's extending through 2 segments here. The Moose just got up and took off. What's going on? Did you get a call or something?
No, just had to take care of something I just needed to do quickly.
Okay.
All good.
We are having fun, as we always do on this Monday. We appreciate everybody checking in from wherever you may be watching today, all across Canada, all 10 provinces on Game Plus TV, and in the United States, 31 states on Game Plus Television. I will, move into the chat, sprinkle in some of your comments. Man, is this a beautiful spot, part of the world. Todd Pinks, one of our P1s, writes in and says it says it's not that it looks like Rod's head is exploding, but those mountains are just Rod's brain constantly thinking, go, go, go. I'll say it again for those that just tuned in. This is the shot that I've wanted for only 2 months. This is exactly it. This is where we've been. It's amazing. Yeah. It's not anybody's fault. We had to get clearance. We had to get permission. But this is what we've been doing. And I love a casino in the morning. It's very similar to walking into a rink at 3 in the afternoon. That zzz of the lights.
Yeah.
And a hockey rink.
Yeah.
Here at the casino in the morning, it's just, you see the people. And you're like, are you up early or have you not been to bed?
Right.
And you don't ask, you just think to yourself.
Right.
These things.
You just wonder.
Yeah.
But everybody's drinking coffee in the morning.
Everybody's got coffee. Everybody's got a story. And when I said earlier that you can do anything for one day, somebody wrote in here, was it Tacona Powell? He says, it's Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg. He says, I couldn't perform heart surgery for one day. Not with an attitude like that, you can't. Wouldn't want you holding the scalpel if you don't think you can do it. Moving on, we talked about the Raptors. We talked about the NHL. Rookie Jeremy Pena hit a 2-run homer in the 10th inning, and Houston beat Toronto 8-7 in the Major League of Baseball to avoid a sweep. The Astros snapped a 4-game slide and ended Toronto's 4-game win streak. The Jays open a 4-game set with the Boston Red Sox tonight, back home at Rogers Center, when Jose Barrios will get the start. How come I don't hear anybody in Toronto bitching about, the Jays are playing and the Raptors? How could they schedule this? Remember that?
Yeah, you don't hear it.
Must be a Western Canadian thing.
Yeah.
Cody Belanger homered twice and drove in 4 runs, leading Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers to a 10-2 win over the San Diego Padres. Canadian Freddie Freeman added a 2-run homer, and Kershaw allowed 1 run and 4 hits in 5 innings to move to 3-0. How about the racing story? Here's my life now. Lee Genier, our business consultant, and I texting back and forth about Formula One on the weekend. And actually knowing what we're talking about. Pigs are flying, people.
Right.
A dominant victory for Formula One champion Max Verstappen at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. The Red Bull driver won from the pole, logged the fastest lap, and picked up his 2nd win of the season. Meanwhile, on the NASCAR circuit, Ross Chastain took the lead near the checkered flag at Talladega Superspeedway to steal his 2nd career NASCAR Cup Series victory. Just had to throw that in there. I got into racing in the pandemic. I wonder what I've been doing all my life, why I wasn't. You are a race fan. You're not. Where are you on the race scene?
Yeah, I was always kind of a Formula One and IndyCar guy because we had Canadians that were in there. Jacques Villeneuve, Paul Tracy, right? We had some good drivers.
Yeah.
And I saw that, Verstappen won. I was following that a little bit. He lapped Lewis Hamilton, who's supposed to be the greatest, right? I mean, he didn't win last year, but he's supposed to still be the greatest. And he got lapped. He's officially tapping out, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, here's what I've realized. I spent a lot of time thinking this weekend, which the old me, that'd be dangerous. Now it's a good thing. And I sit here and think this about certain sports, what you get into. Like football and hockey, which are my two sports, and it used to be baseball when I was a kid, but we sit and we talk about the plays. Did you see that move by McDavid? Did you see that save by Thatcher Demko Saturday night? Did you see that catch by OBJ? That's those sports.
Yeah.
In racing, you can sit there and just watching round and round and round. That's fun too.
Yeah.
But it's like curling. You talk more about the drama around the sport. Like when I went to the racing and I smelled this, the smell in the air, the gas was awesome. The spaghetti straps were great. Everything was great. The concession was on point.
Yeah.
But you're not really talking. You're waiting for the crash. You're waiting for the drama. You're not talking about what's going on like you are in hockey and football.
Right.
Curling's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben Hebert's going to Brendan Botcher and Jennifer Jones' team's breaking up. It's never about the shot.
Yeah, rare.
That's those sports.
Yeah. And it's similar to racing that, you wait around, and if there is a crash or something dramatic happens, like he gets overtaken on the last lap, which doesn't happen every race, then you talk about that, right? Did you see that crash? Did you see that at the end? Same thing in curling. Did you see the triple takeout? But it's rare. It doesn't happen every game.
So rare.
Football, hockey, there's a play every game that you're talking about.
Jenna Reagan watching from Southern California. Jenna says, I've not watched every USFL football game, but the Pittsburgh Maulers are improving. Looking forward to week 3. Did you do something to your screen? Because it looks amazing. Looks great now. Just happened.
Why, I left and came back.
Is that what you did?
No, but we'll pretend that it was.
Well, look. And Pink says, did you see the USFL player take a dumb what on the player after he hit him? Take a what? Can you spell check your comments, people, please? I didn't watch one snap of USFL football. So now we're getting into what you all want to talk about. And that's why we love this format, because it's the most interactive show on television. Nowhere else can you talk with the hosts like this. Didn't watch any USFL. I was all geeked up about junior hockey, and it was awesome. Off the top of the show, I mentioned I visited with the Oilers people in Red Deer the other night. It was great. There's nothing like junior hockey people. It's, for the most part, a different crowd than the NHL games that you go to. Like, you go to a junior game, there's a lot of seniors. There's a lot of sweatpants crowd.
Yep.
You go to an NHL game, it's younger. It's when I say younger, I'm talking 18 to 30, beers flowing. Junior isn't really like that.
Right.
And probably why I like it so much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Arthur and Millie are going to the game Saturday night, and they can't wait.
That is absolutely junior hockey.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And so, no, I didn't watch USFL, but I want to make a point about something. I spoke with Cody Fajardo this morning, the franchise quarterback of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Canada's team. I saw that he'd said on Regina Radio last week, he said, throw it all on me, put all the pressure on me, from Cody Fajardo. My focus on the weekend was not USFL, it wasn't NFL, it was reading these articles and the interviews that Cody Fajardo was doing. So let's just spend a minute on that. I said, is there too much pressure on him? Whether he's putting it all on himself or the fans are putting too much on him, doesn't matter. As is in my commentary this morning on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98.5, the Bible says, Darren, I'm sure you probably read it this morning, to he who much is given, much is required. He is the highest paid quarterback. He's the highest paid player in Saskatchewan Roughriders history, so that's going to go along with it, expectations. And I'll always have his back, even if I don't expect him to fall on his face this year, but if he did, I would be there to pick him up. Fans aren't the same. And so Cody wrote me and said, thanks for the support, and God's got me, and it's going to take a little more than God,
Yeah.
It's going to take a little more than God. It's going to take a little more than Cody Fajardo just himself doing this. So I'm not overly comfortable with the pressure that he's heaping on himself, because I don't see anybody in the organization helping him out with that.
Well, there's a lot of pressure. It's a Grey Cup year. And not just, like, they're hosting a Grey Cup. And the last time this happened, they won the whole thing. So there's already a built-in pressure, and now you have more pressure put on yourself when he takes it on. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we'll see how he responds this year. I'm looking forward to watching how he plays. I'm excited.
From the viewers that do want to talk about the USFL, and that's fine. Darren in Salt Lake City says, well, let me start with Wayne in Victoria. He says, the thing I noticed about that USFL game on Saturday was I see that the stands were almost empty. I guess they're making their money on TV revenue. Darren Workman says they are counting on TV, not attendance, to carry the USFL. Only the Birmingham games get any type of fans. You'd better have deep pockets if you're going to run a spring league. That's just the way that it is. Yeah. And all the games, if you've noticed, are being played in Birmingham, Alabama. There's 2 stadiums there. They're playing between the 2 stadiums, but there's only one home team. Why would you buy a ticket to go watch it? It doesn't work that way. Even in Canada, I remember in the Queen City, the sweatpants capital, late 90s, for whatever reason, the Brandon Wheat Kings arena was busy. So Brandon played, I think it was the league final. I think they played, it couldn't have been. I think they played the Calgary Hitmen in Regina. I'm like, they'll fill the barn. It's spring and we're a hockey town. Nope. Maybe 1,000 people.
Looked like a spring camp.
If it's not your team, you're not going to buy tickets and go. You're just not.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on with the USFL. So, yeah, it does look bad on television. They probably should be papering the house and waving people in off the street, but what the hell do I know? Maybe it's not that easy. BW in Edmonton says, I watch fan-controlled football on YouTube. It is really interesting. One of the investors was a guest commentator. They were talking to shake things up for baseball and basketball. Yeah, that's the league where the fans call the plays. I don't mind it. Terrell Owens is in it. Johnny Manziel's in it. You want to talk about State Fair football? That's State Fair football.
Right. Step right up.
Watch those games.
Call the plays.
The player intros are amazing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it goes a steep drop-off from there when the players are introduced. They come out like WWE stars out of the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
You got John Jenkins coming out, the former CFL coach. He's one of the coaches there. For the older viewers, he's a twin of Porter Wagner. You younger people, look him up. Moose, we got a break. I'll see you in next hour, okay?
Sure.
There's a lot going on. Scott Flory joins us next. We got a lot to talk with the Hall of Famer about. Enoch Mwamba and Greg Peterson on the way. You are watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary. It's Calgary's entertainment destination. We are on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and of course you can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG. always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with The Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
It is the RP Show on this Monday, episode number 742 of your favorite daytime sports entertainment talk show, coming to you live from that place. You're looking live at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. May 5th is the annual Dogs Breakfast fundraising dinner for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies men's football program. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about a lot of things with Scott Flory, their head coach, the program that's had so much success, and Scott joins us today from Saskatoon. How you doing, Coach?
Good, Rod. How are you?
Good. It's been far too long. Last time I saw you, I think you were freezing your butt on the sidelines of the Vanier Cup. Before we get into the university football talk, we've had a bit of a USFL discussion this morning. Are you watching the games, Scott, and what do you think of the league, if so?
I watched last weekend. One of my old coaches is the O-line coach there in Birmingham, so I watched a little bit of that. I didn't watch this past weekend. But the biggest thing that I saw is that, with any new league or anything like that, they just got to have good quarterback play. So it didn't look that bad from what I saw. I didn't watch this past weekend, so I can't comment on it. But quarterback play is going to be the one thing. It's just so hard to find, elite level quarterback play as you continue to move deeper and deeper. And NFL, CFL, they're always taking those top guys. So if they can find it, there's going to be a lot of talented football players out there. So I'm sure it's pretty decent.
Well, see, now this is why we could sit and talk for hours about this before we even get to the Huskies thing. Is that because the talent's not there or cohesion? These guys have been together since March 25th. They had 3 weeks to play together. George Cortez says you need probably 2 years as a pro to get onto it. Is it because it's so rushed and they don't have veteran guys, or why do you think it is hard for the quarterback play to shine in spring leagues?
Well, just look at it from anything. Do you in high school? Do you ever have a grade 10 quarterback go in and stud it up? In university, do you ever have a kid come right out of high school and come in and have a massive impact? No, it's 2, 3, 4 years down the road, and it's no different in pro. Very rarely do you see a guy come right out of university in either the CFL or the NFL and have immediate success. So this is a startup league. There's going to be some time there to get used to the nuances of the stadiums and all that kind of stuff. But even the players too. I know there's a lot of moving parts in our roster and pro rosters, but generally there's a stable core there that gives that familiarity. And the quarterbacks are just, it's just tough to get to learn the nuances of the offense and the teams and the opposition and everything. And the quarterback, to me, is the hardest position in all of sport to play. And to find those elite guys at in any league at any time is hard.
Wonderful segue. Canadian Football Hall of Famer Scott Flory is with us. How many Grey Cups? 3? Yeah, 3, right? With Montreal, Scott?
Yep.
Yeah. And now the head coach of the very successful U of S Huskies men's program. So you got a quarterback who I know very well, Mason Nias. Was he going to his 4th year starting now? I mean, you went to the Vanier Cup last year on an icy track, didn't win it. You plan to be in the Vanier every year, right, Scott? But I mean, I would think this year it's all setting up to be there, especially after the experience of last year.
Yeah, no, we got Mason. He's going into his 5th year. Last year with our team, but again, it's one of those. Mason's been with our team since 2016, so 2-3 years learning as a backup, and then 3 years as a starter. You just need that time, and we saw that production last year and what he did, leading our team to the national title, and then him, myself, and all of our coaches and players are more than eager to prove and to try and get back to that game again and try to win it this time. And we're trying to find 7 points, man. That's kind of our mode of our offseason.
Yes, that's what I said. 3rd or 4th year starting. I knew that he was going into his last year, and I know you're not looking backwards, and we're going to talk about the Husky Dogs breakfast here for sure. But you made it to the Vanier Cup without Nelson Lacombo and without with some pieces. It wasn't like it was a surprise to you, but I felt like you kind of overcome a lot of things to get there last year.
Well, that's part of part of building a program, and the depth of a program, though, is that we've got Mason this year, but we know we're going to have to overcome that and get our next guy ready for 2023. So you're right. We lost 2 starters in our secondary, and Nelson Lacombo and Josh Haggerty from the season before, I guess 2019, to go into our 2021 season. But we knew that's part of it. We're going to lose guys to the CFL again this year. We're going to lose them to graduation, and life happens as well. But that's the part of the program where we've got to make sure that we're successful enough and deep enough that opportunity for the next guy, that they're ready, that it doesn't take as much time. The quarterback is the unique position, though. That's the one where it's just tough to replicate stuff in practice, and those guys need those game reps.
Who is it here? Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg watching. He says, man, U of S has some big names coaching there. Flory and Babcock. What was it like spending the winter around my boy Babs? Intense guy, as are you. What was it like, man?
Mike's a great guy. Yeah, no, he's a great guy. I got to know him a little bit as through some different settings too. When you're kind of doing some athletics, team building stuff, and everything. But yeah, I mean, but again, you just look at him. This is a world-class coach, and it's going to take a minute for him to kind of understand and learn the landscape of university hockey again. The guy coming from the utmost highest level. So, but he's awesome. He's an awesome guy, and I know that the players and all the coaches, everybody around athletics, loved having him around for sure.
Yeah, he is a good guy, and that's why I don't like to let the media portray you unjustly. Put it that way. That's why we have Babs on as much as we do. So, Scott, the breakfast, as mentioned, May 5th, that's really why you're on to talk about it. Biggest fundraiser for your program on the calendar, right? You're going to honor the 07 Rough Riders. I'm sure you're looking forward to that. Let's talk about the dinner at Prairieland Park.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just so good. We were 2 years away with the pandemic hit right before our spring camp there in 2020. So losing 2020 and 2021, our foundation does an amazing job of, they built up resources that we still gave out scholarships for those 2 years without this breakfast existing. But this is going to be a great year back. With the Riders, partnering them not only through training camp up here for the next 3 years, but along with the breakfast and being able to honor that 07 Rider team. I was at that game. I didn't play versus them in it, so but that's okay. It'll be really good to see some of those guys, the players and obviously Jeremy O'Day being up here now, the general manager, and Scott Schultz and Tad Cornegay. Those are good. Those are really good guys, and it'll be good to be up here. And for our breakfast, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I believe I saw Andy Fantus on the docket. Did I not? Tuz is going to be around for this, isn't he?
Yeah, but he went to Western, but that's okay. We'll welcome him with open arms for the week. But yeah, Andy will be here as well, I believe.
Yes, top Canadian in that Grey Cup for sure. But you know what? You don't play until late August, right? Labor Day weekend. But I just feel like the Dogs Breakfast is like the kickoff to Husky football for the year. Like it's that big. For those that haven't been there, just can you talk about what it does for the program? Just kind of as a shot in the arm for Husky football.
Yeah, you're right. It does kind of feel like the official, unofficial start to football, I guess, in this province a little bit. There's a lot of the minor stuff is all kicking off, and this really segues into the CFL season. The Riders are coming up here basically the day after our spring camp on May 9th, kind of to take over for spring camp. But yeah, just what it means. All the money raised there goes towards our student athletes and the scholarships for them and their education, and it's a massive part of our program. I mean, it'll raise $100,000 a year, and all that money goes back to these young men and furthering their education. And we talk about guys like Mason. I can't go down to Regina and get these guys. I can't go to Calgary and get these guys without the help and support of the foundation being able to raise these funds for us to be able to give scholarships to these young men. And they do a great job of being ambassadors for our program, and we're so happy and thankful for the foundation and all they do.
Well, this is going to be a special year, a kickoff to a very special year on May 5th, the Dogs Breakfast, the year that the Huskies win the Vanier. Scott, thanks for this. Keep it up, my friend, the great work, and we'll chat with you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Head coach of the U of S Huskies football program, Scott Flory. We got a taco time viewer takeover coming up. On the way today, Enoch Mwamba and Greg Peterson. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in Calgary, and we'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio, rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
It is the portion of the program we affectionately call Taco Time Viewer Takeover. Taco Time with over 120 locations across Canada. There's always one near you. Calgary's sucking them all up. There's like 14 around here. Calgary, the mecca of Taco Time. All over Edmonton, too. And, of course, Saskatchewan, BC. Hear from you people in Eastern Canada. Taco Time fans out there, too. What up with that? Ding, did I say you people in Eastern Canada? Did I say you people with your milk and honey? By the way, so I had to get Moose to get the text line going. Can you hear this? Everything is happening at Grey Eagle right now. Announcements are going off. So I had to get Moose to get the text line working. I opened up the text line today, and it's like, enter a whole bunch of information here. And I'm like, I don't have that information. So I get Darren to get that fixed. And now I went in and checked the weekend Bet Regal contest entries. You know how it works. Every Friday we ask you to look at the weekend schedule of games, pick the game that you're looking forward to the most, and then the hook on that is you need to pick who's going to win it. And we got people writing in here. I got Alex Fulton. Oh, yeah, I see. Alex is watching from Game Plus in Toronto, and he says, I think Red Bull makes up the points and Max takes the championship again. Oh, he called Red Bull winning it and Max Verstappen. How about that?
How about that?
But we're going with Shane Mellinson from Deer Valley Sask, who picked the Raptors to stave off elimination versus the 76ers with a win at home. He called it. So, Alex, thank you for playing. Please play again. The Bet Regal prize package is going to be going out to Shane Mellinson, Deer Valley, Saskatchewan. And I'm going through here and looking at all the contest entries. There's a lot from a variety of sports, which tells me we have a lot of viewers that are enjoying a wide variety of sports. Again, play Bet Regal and sign up with the promo code RP22 and get $22 to bet with. You don't need to be betting big money. Put a little action on it, and it's fun. BetRegal.ca. Use the promo code RP22, and you'll get 22 welcome dollars. Darren in Salt Lake City says those psychedelic mountains are really distracting. LOL. That's a you problem, Darren. It's not a me problem. Focus on me. As I said off the top of the show, if you've been watching since we cracked the lid at noon Eastern, this is the show I've wanted for 2 months since we've been here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. This is what I wanted. We had to get clearance, we had to get permission, we had to get all these things. Now we have it, and it looks amazing. So don't say that it's distracting. It looks amazing. It's exactly what I want. Yeah, they're having fun with that. Oh, and Shane's watching the winner, the lucky winner. Shane Mellinson, he says, go Raptors. Not sure we can win the series, but played good at home. We covered it off the top. That's why I'm a Nick. Last minute of play in hour one. Last minute of play. That's why I'm a Nick Nurse fan. I didn't like him complaining about the officiating coming out of the first 2 games in Philly and complaining about Joel Embiid. And then they fell down 3-0. But it's not like he's doing groundbreaking stuff here. Any coach, when you're down 0-3, is going to say, we only got to win one. As a matter of fact, they're going to say, we only got to win this shift, this play, break it down. And they won Saturday, so now they're going to Philly tonight. That'll be the poll question. The poll question, which we have not mentioned yet. What are you watching tonight? Raptors, Blue Jays, or other? There's only one NHL game, and it's a friends and family game. Philadelphia Flyers, Chicago Blackhawks. The only people that care are friends and family of the players. Next hour, Enoch Mwamba and Greg Peterson. Stick around. We'll be right back after this break on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. And big time, big time, big time, big time.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Now,
how did this fly get in there? Somebody got a fly swatter?
Yeehaw!
It was a shot of Prairie Jesus is really what it was.
It was.
You'd think we would be getting used to it, but we never get used to it. We never get tired of good things happening.
This life doesn't get old.
No. It was a nice little distraction from the real world, and here we are today for a coffee session.
This is the Rod Peterson Show.
Okay, it is. We're on the air. Hello, everybody. Canada, Canadian sports fans around the world. It is what we do. It's hour 2 of the RP show. We're coming to you live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and you're noticing a new background here. It's new to you. It's not new to us. It is the background that I've been looking for the last 2 months since our first day. Very excited to be broadcasting from the stage bar, going back and forth. Don't mind me. I'm just going to the big board here for our next guest information and our guest after that. Last hour we had Canadian Football Hall of Famer, 3-time Grey Cup champion, and head coach of the U of S Huskies football program, Scott Flory. Coming up this hour, Long-time friend of mine, Canadian safety of the Grey Cup champion Calgary Stampeders, 1992. Their longtime radio color commentator, Greg Peterson, will be joining us right here at Grey Eagle. And in moments, Enoch Mwamba, star middle linebacker of the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. Former Indianapolis Colt, Dallas Cowboy, Winnipeg Blue Bomber, Alouette, Rough Rider, and now Argos. But I just want to mention the poll question that I've just put up for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. What are you watching tonight? Your options in this country. Jays Red Sox, they open a set at Rogers Center. Raptors Game 5 or other. And right now, other is leading with 67% of the vote. Can you believe it? I can't. I think I'll be watching the Raptors trying to stay alive at Philly. Let's bring him in now. Enoch Mwamba. Such a cool dude. An Eastern Canadian by trade. You're a Maritimer, are you not, Enoch? What do you say is your hometown?
Man, I grew up, Rod. I spent most time actually in I'd say Mississauga, but if I go to Quebec, they'll tell me that I'm actually a Quebecer. So it's interesting, but it's also amazing to get so much love from across the country.
It totally is, and you're from Zaire originally. You played at St. FX, so you're a real worldly guy. But how would you answer that question? If you're watching sports at all, because I know you're a young father, there's not a lot of sports watching for young dads. What would you watch tonight if you had the chance?
I'm a huge basketball guy. I want to see the impossible happen. I know the Raptors are down 3-1. It's one game at a time, one step at a time. I would want the Raptors to keep winning until they can, take out the Sixers.
Do you think the Raptors can pull this off? Clearly, if you're that big of a basketball guy, you were watching Game 4 on Saturday. They led from wire to wire. Now Joel Embiid is hurt. He's going to play hurt. But do you think the impossible could happen, Matt?
I think the impossible could happen, man. I'm a huge fan, like I said, and I might be speaking out of just emotion here, but I'm hoping and I actually do believe that the impossible can happen with just the fact that you mentioned Embiid being hurt, and that's their star, that's their guy who gets things going, and if he's not at 100%, that's a something that we can take advantage of as a Raptor fan.
Well, absolutely, you have to believe, and I know you believe. I've seen your story. I've known you a long time, and for those that just tuned in, Enoch Mwamba with us from the Toronto Argonauts. Tell me why I should believe the Toronto Argonauts will represent the East Division in the Grey Cup in 2022.
Listen, we're set to have a little bit more stability, right? Last year, especially as a defensive guy, we had 3 different coaches, right? So having continuity and adding a guy like Coach Mace is something that is going to be, invaluable really to our team. We're excited to have him on board. I've had multiple conversations with him, and he's an amazing guy who I think will absolutely change the defense. As a matter of fact, just the whole makeup of the whole team. So just from a stability standpoint, I love the fact that we're able to, finally have a guy that we love and a guy that's going to be there for the long term. Beyond that as well, I think having the guys back together, last year for us, it was more so like a first year in our regime, and we saw exactly where we went. To us, we feel like we underachieved, but that just means that it's only going to go up from here, knowing the fact that most of the guys that were there last year and part of kind of year one of a new regime under Coach Dinwiddie are going to come back. And so we have a bitter taste in our mouth, and we're ready for this upcoming season.
I love to hear it, man. And it's interesting you say that, and it's awesome that Greg Peterson's coming up next because he would know Corey Mays very well. He's so highly thought of and talked about as a coach in the CFL. He'd been here in Calgary, now he's with the Argos. But you got to tell me, what was it like when my guy Chris Jones showed up last year with the Argos? How much did that defense change under Jones when he became defensive coordinator?
Well, Rod, you and I both know Jones very well, right? And I've had multiple, experiences with him. And even prior to me ever being coached by him, I had heard of him. He had coached my older brother before that. And then you hear across the league, obviously being around for as long as I have, you always hear about the different guys that have had impact on the league. And so I kind of had an idea. And so I was really prepping the guys, knowing that he was on his way, because we kind of caught wind of it, maybe a week or two before he got there. And, I kind of started to prep the guys. Hey, look, and myself and a few other guys that, have been teammates before and been coached by Coach Jones before. We know his style, we know his approach, and we're kind of preparing for them to get used to that style. And so as soon as he got there, it was exactly what we thought it was going to be. He started to focus on certain things that we knew he would focus on, specifically, numbers. He's a huge analytics guy. If you know Coach Jones very well, he loves the numbers. And as a matter of fact, he dictates a lot of his defenses based on, what numbers predict and what numbers say. And so those are kind of some of the things that I know me as a leader and a few of the guys, Crescent Butler, who I was teammates with in Saskatchewan as well, we're kind of preparing the guys for as soon as Coach Jones came. And then also just the way he runs a team, he runs a defense. He had an influence as well on Coach Dinwiddie by the way that the coaching, the daily schedule would go. And, everybody knows Coach Jones to be this guy who helps teams win. But beyond that, he's a player's coach who, really wants the best for players and wants really players to play as healthy as they can. And he addresses that by the way that, the day-to-day is ran.
It's really interesting that you say that. And we do have questions from the viewers that I'll throw in here when we get a minute, Enoch. But I had a lot of friends on that Argos staff. Not as many are there anymore because they all left with Jones. But they told me what a gong show it was. Before Jones even showed up, you guys were in Guelph. You were moving around, right? Just you were all a state of flux. So how... You mentioned the chip on your shoulder and some stability. How excited are you to get back to what I'm told is a traditional CFL schedule? Now, COVID isn't a thing anymore. That's got to be a relief for an older guy like you, I would think.
No, absolutely. I mean, old guy, young guy, I think, stability is huge and understanding exactly what it's going to look like and what to look forward to and what the next week is, what to expect is huge. And so just having an understanding and a knowledge that, hey, look, this is going to be closer to what we've been most used to is exciting. And so just going into Guelph and having the ability to practice and even have some fans to come out and watch. I've been talking to, even from a business side of things, a few people who want to do business with us and speaking engagements. And there's a particular side of things where I met with a gentleman who sponsors a whole section for disabled kids. And I'm interested to go and speak to them. But again, this is something that couldn't be done last year. And hopefully with different restrictions this year are things that are going to happen. And so just being able to prepare in that sense and in that way is definitely a peaceful thing.
Just a couple more questions for you, Enoch, before we let you go and move Greg Peterson in. You have a message today, by the way, and I've seen it all over social media that you'd like to pass along to the viewers. So maybe let's go there next.
No, absolutely. I'm actually working very closely with an amazing organization called the LLSC, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Canada, which supports the blood cancer community. And they do an amazing job of supporting people who have been impacted by blood cancer and just are recovering as well. People in the thick of the battle and supporting the families, but even beyond that as well, that is amazing work. But another thing that they do obviously as well is they do a lot in the search for a cure for cancer. And so I've been working with them and been able to kind of raise awareness and raise funds with a campaign called the Man and Woman of the Year, where we've been able to kind of reach out to as many people as possible to be able to kind of play a role and step up and contribute to this battle, right? One of the mantras that I'm using for my campaign is be the one, which is an idea, a thought that, whenever on the teams that I've been on, Rod, I always talk about at some point or another, I talk about the fact that everybody is important. Everybody and every contribution matters. Now, it's important because a lot of the times, if you're not the star of the show, you're not the quarterback, and you're not the main person that is always being promoted, you may sometimes feel like your contribution is minimal, is not important. And in the same way that you shouldn't be waiting for the star or somebody else to make a play to impact the game in the best way possible, you have to take the opportunity by the horn. It's in the same way that this campaign, the Men and Women of the Year campaign ran by the LLSC, is giving an opportunity for everybody to have an impact on this battle against cancer. And again, as intimidating as it is to be able to get into a fight with this terrible disease called cancer, I think that, the LLSC provides an opportunity for anybody to step up and, like I mentioned, have an impact on it, no matter what the contribution might be, how little or how large it may be. Every contribution, like on the field, in this particular battle also matters.
Well, Enoch, good on you for using your platform to further the message of this. And a lot of us have been touched by cancer, of course. It's awful. And follow Enoch on social media. All the information is there and how you can support it and so forth. My last comment is from a viewer, a question. Nelson Hackowitz says, Enoch, you did a great job in the booth at the CFL Combine. Is an analyst job in your future post-football?
You know what? That's definitely something that I'd be extremely interested in. Maybe co-hosting this Rob Peterson show at some point. But absolutely, it's something that I'd look into. And, for right now, I'm focusing on football. But for sure, I love media. I've always been, a huge fan of media, which is one of the reasons why I actually came on this show when I launched my podcast, Mwamba Moment. And so, being involved with sports and being involved with the game of football beyond, especially after I retire, is something that I'm definitely looking into. And that's one of the avenues that I'll definitely be diving into for sure.
Well, you'll be great. And I was in the room 2017 Grey Cup, right, when you won the Gord Barwell Award, kind of the CFL's Man of the Year. So I know that you'll be a success at whatever you do. Enoch, keep in touch. Whatever you need, you know where to find us. And we'll see you on the field soon.
Thank you so much, Rod. Thanks for having me again.
Enoch Mwamba of the Toronto Argonauts, but also formerly of the Dallas Cowboys, Indy Colts, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Alouettes, Argos, and the Rough Riders, where we got to be very good friends. We're going to take a time out a little early because that'll give us more time with our next guest, Greg Peterson. Speaking of players that have turned analysts, everybody wants to be an analyst, eh, Pete? Everybody wants to be a broadcaster. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, also YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, just a quick sports update before we move in. My good man Pete, if the Toronto Raptors are going to stave off elimination in Philadelphia tonight, they may have to do it without all-star guard Fred VanVleet. He's listed as questionable for Game 5 with a strained left hip flexor. Toronto down 3-1 in their best-of-7 first-round series with the Sixers. Elsewhere, Ben Simmons has been ruled out of Game 4 of Brooklyn's playoff series against Boston, making it possible he won't play at all this season. Simmons, who was acquired from Philly in February, has been working his way back from a herniated disc. And the Toronto Blue Jays send pitcher Jose Barrios to the mound tonight as they entertain the Boston Red Sox at Rogers Center. The Blue Jays ended the game tied with the Yankees for first in the AL East. Our poll question is, who will you be watching tonight? Raptors, Blue Jays, or other? It's for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, and I can't believe the majority is saying other. What else would you be watching? Certainly not the NHL game, the lone game tonight, Philly and Chicago. But this sports update is brought to you by Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. For the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, and for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Okay, we got that out of the way. Now, Greg Peterson, who I appreciate you juggling your time, Pete, showing up here. There he is. CFL All-Star, Grey Cup champion, 1984 to 1992 with the Calgary Stampeders, and part of the longest-serving broadcast crew in CFL history, right, Pete?
That's right, Mark, Steven, and I. It's been, but you were up there, and totally miss you on the road, seeing you.
I know, but we'll be out and around and a lot closer to the CFL than we have been in a long time. And I'm sensing, Greg, because I've been here for a couple of months, a buzz for Stampeders football.
Oh, yeah, it's a great city. I mean, just like Ryderville, we have some great fans here in Calgary. And we've had such a great team. I think over the last 10 years, even 15, 20 years, I think the Stampeder franchise, because of Huff, John Huffnagel, and Dave and others, they've been the model, I think, franchise in the CFL.
Well, we've had a parade of Stampeders people through here, and Huff has been down here. And tell me, I'm interested to get your take on last season through COVID and everything. Huff basically said, we went through a rebuild and nobody really saw. It was the youngest roster in years, I guess you guys had fielded, right? And you still made the playoffs, but this is the year where they take a step ahead. That's the sense.
I think so. They started off, and it was tough, but they had a very young group, and that young group now, this team coming up that for this year, they've got a lot of experience. They've got some good playing time in behind them, and that's all you need. And you really have to admire this coaching staff. Dave Dickinson, Brent Monson, Mark Killam. They've been around a long time, and they just kept plugging at it and getting at it. And then at the end of the year, they were playing very good football. So I think they're expecting a lot bigger things this year.
I have to, we could sit here and go on for days, Pete, about everything related. But all those guys you just mentioned as coaches are all Canadians.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this might have the most Canadians of any staff in the CFL, I would think.
Well, and I'm a Canadian, and I went down to school and played my college football at BYU and got a scholarship down there, played big-time college football. But I came back to Canada, got drafted here, and it was good for me. So I want to see Canadians get a chance, and that includes coaching. And it's great that Dave has hired coaches like Brent Monson and like Mark Killam. And it kind of amazes me that Mark Killam, for example, hasn't got a chance as a head coach. I mean, to me, if I'm a GM, he was the first guy I'd be looking at. But I don't want him to leave because we like him here in Calgary. But, yeah, it's great that we just want jobs in the CFL for Canadians because they're the ones that stay here. And I'm all for making the game better for not just the CFL, but for all of Canada. The minor football program, Tony Spallettini and I were very involved in minor football. We want to see these young kids coming up, aspiring to play in the CFL, and then even aspiring possibly to be a coach.
Yeah, for sure. But you've been around a little longer than me, not a lot longer than me. You know everything happens for a reason. I would think Mark Killam, he's from Lethbridge. He coached high school in Cochrane. He's had a great run here. He's going to get his opportunity.
I hope so. Mark deserves it. He's just an excellent coach.
Yeah.
I get the opportunity. I get my information. I don't know how you got your information when you were with the Riders, but I get my information from the coaches.
Yeah, from within the team.
Yeah, within the team. I'll talk to the players, but they treat me so good too. They tell me because I built up a trust with them. They know I'm not going to get on the air and say, hey, this is the first play that they're going to do. But just great. And I really admire how well they treat us, but we're all in it together, really. We in the media have to sell the CFL as well. A little bit different. You go down to the States, and they're very guarded towards the media. They don't say much, but here we're not like that. We're all kind of one big group trying to grow the game of football in Canada.
Yes, although I spent a lot of the winter in Miami, and I found they were very welcoming and open. I feel like it's flipped a little bit for whatever reason. But I bring up the Canadian portion of the coaches for this. You got Bo saying last week, you must have heard, he wouldn't be against a move to 4 downs. Mark Killam came on this show and said, over his dead body, is it going to 3 downs? And then we see the Stamps voted for 4 downs, if that's to be believed. And Arash reported it, and he's one of my closest friends. I believe it. Why are we talking about this?
I wouldn't go to 4 downs. What I would do is we need to improve the game. And the CFL has always been more progressive than the NFL in making changes to make the game more exciting. We need more offense. I got kind of tired of 2 and punt. When you're getting 14, 15 punts per football game. And now it used to be in the CFL, we had very exciting plays on special teams. But the way these coaches have drafted now, they've got such good cover teams now. And you got good coaches like Greg Dickinson, like Mark Killam. We're just seeing punts and a tackle after 5-10 yards. So I would change the rules to make those plays more exciting. I would be a little bit more creative to make the rule changes to bring more offense, more exciting plays. I would not make it 4 downs, though.
What specifically would you like to see changed then?
Anything to make... I thought... You were broadcasting when I was about 10 years ago. We had some very exciting punt returns, kickoff returns.
It was awesome.
Awesome. It was great to broadcast and to see. We're not getting that anymore because the cover teams are so good now because they draft for cover teams. They get these good players that can play it, and the coaching's got better. I'd make rules to make it so that the return teams have an advantage. I'd make rules so we got more sustained drives. People might have been critical about moving the hash marks in or whatever. I'm all for that if it's going to bring out more offense. And, I was a defensive player, but I think people want to see 40 to 40 type games and not 12 to 11 type games. Coaches might love defense, but to be quite honest, I think fans like offensive big plays. That's what we have to have in the CFL.
I agree. I don't think a lot needs to be changed. I think that the low scoring this last season was an anomaly.
Hope so.
I hope so too, but I want to know where you stand on the ratio because that's the other thing that they're talking about right now.
I'm totally against the changing the ratio. I do not want to see the CFL become so you have 24 American starters and then 24 Canadian backups all playing special teams. I want the Canadians to get the chance to play. They develop a little bit, maybe slower, but still, we have to have these young players coming up through our system in Canada, aspiring to play safety or running back or wide receiver, not aspiring to be a cover guy on a punt team. And that's where I think we have to really be careful about that. And I'm not for changing the ratio, but it looks like I'm in the minority in that one.
You might be, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it. Like, where do you see this? Where do you see it going?
Well, I hope that the minds to be take a holistic look at it, not just the CFL and the movement to do that. I hope they look at more all across Canada, what is the best for football in Canada. And if you do that, you're not going to change the ratio.
Yeah. What's the state of football in this town? Like your son, I remember you were talking about going to U of S, but he never ended up going to U of S, did he?
No, he went to US. He played quarterback for US, and then he transferred his last year, and he gave up. But, yeah, he ended up playing for the Huskies, had a great experience.
Right.
What I think that they should probably do, or the state right now in Calgary is very good. We have great fields. Unlike other jurisdictions or cities, we all play our minor football at Shoaldice. If you've ever been to Shoaldice Park, it's got 3 good artificial turf fields and good score clocks and all that, and we bring them all in to play at one place. It is growing, but to be quite honest, I'm very involved in minor football. We are losing out to other sports. We have to get kids involved more in football, loving it, playing, or else, unfortunately, unlike when I played, I could play soccer, basketball, hockey, and I did, right up until I was about 16 years old. They're making these kids make an option now or make a choice now when they're 12, 11, 13 years old, which I don't agree with. But if that's the way it's going to be, we've got to do more to bring kids into football, keep them interested in football and coming up through football.
Why are they making them decide so young?
Because they all think their kids are going to go on and play pro sports, and so they got them in winter hockey, summer hockey, spring hockey. Same thing with basketball, same thing with soccer. I'm all for playing lots of sports because that's what I did growing up, and I think it helped me in my football career. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's they get so into it now. It's year-round soccer, year-round basketball, year-round hockey instead of letting these kids go from sport to sport. I think it's not good.
Yeah, and you look at those kids in their eyes, and they just look dead. Like it's the parents that are making them do it. Honestly, yeah, but for sure. But you talk about the ratio. Americans start on offense and defense, and Canadians play special teams. With the more Canadian coaches, I always thought it was the bias, the American coaches that didn't want to play the Canadians. It wasn't a talent thing. Agree or disagree?
I disagree with you on that. Yeah, because I think coaches are going to play the best player. Their jobs are on the line. If they don't play the best, they're not going to have a job. And so they're going to play whatever they think is best. I just think that they have to understand, though, is it forced making some Canadian start? Yes, there is. But I think there's nothing wrong with that. Again, we need people coming to the stands. If you've got a kid that's playing minor football or maybe a kid that's playing on the Dinos or the Huskies or whatever, you're going to come out to the games. So again, take this holistic approach to it, football general in Canada. I know a lot of people that say, if our game is nothing but a bunch of Americans playing and we have no Canadians playing, I'm not going to watch it. A lot of them come to the game. And those that come to the game, no matter what, they're going to still do that. But I do think we attract a lot of people by getting our minor football programs organized, having young kids involved in minor football with aspirations to play. I think, again, take this whole look at football in Canada.
So bigger picture then, and I appreciate your thoughts on that. How do you see things playing out in the West Division? And I ask because BC's got 2 Canadian quarterbacks, right? Nathan Work and Michael O'Connor.
Which is great.
It's amazing, but I had Neil McAvoy on a couple weeks ago, their co-GM, and brought up the Canadian status, and he got angry. He's like, who cares that they're Canadian, right? He's like, Rourke, you wouldn't know he was Canadian if you did, you know what I mean? So how do you think they're going to do?
I think they're going to do well.
Yeah,
I think now the CIS and the Canadian kids that get to go down in the States, they get good. We're getting better schooling, better education, you could say, down the line, training. So these Canadian kids are coming up, and the gap has been shortened between what the Americans got and what the Canadians got. Even football now, I'm the president of our spring league here, so our kids are playing more and they're getting more games, and the more you play, the better you get. I do think, though, that if you eliminated the ratio, it would go in a direction I don't want the CFL going.
Right, but I can't remember because the rules, I don't like changing things. Nobody likes changing things. Are the quarterbacks counting to the ratio now?
No, they're not. I don't believe they are. Yeah.
They're not?
No.
Should they?
I think they should. Yeah, if you're playing 2 Canadian quarterbacks, you should open up 2 Canadians elsewhere. Yeah, I totally believe that.
Then BC wouldn't be going with 2 Canadian quarterbacks if they didn't think they were the best quarterbacks.
Again, coaches are going to do what they have to do to win a football game. Whether that player is from, China, Canada, United States, doesn't matter. They're just going to play the best. That's what they do.
How much of Rourke did you see last year?
Not much in the preseason, but we had Jake Mayer come in and did a great job. I was totally amazed with them. But they just maybe need to, it goes back to my days when I played. We had Greg Vavra. He was kind of the hot Canadian quarterback. Vav, I think, could have been a very good CFL player if he'd got the right chance. Greg was smart, had a rocket of an arm. I think could have played and had a long career in the CFL. He just never got the appropriate chance to do so.
Mm-hmm. Well, I asked about the West, and we got a lot of time to get through all of this. I don't know how BC makes the playoffs in this division because there's just too many strong teams, but they might. And I told you I've been here quite a while. The football people seem fixated on Jones. What's Jones doing? They're looking over the wall into Edmonton going, what's Jones doing up there? What do you think?
That's because Chris, and Chris, and I know I got to know Chris Jones while he was here. I even was a guest coach with the Stampeders at the time, and I was kind of under Chris Jones on the defensive side of the football. He's got a history of winning, and so I think the Eskimos or the Elks are going to do better. It's going to be very, very tight. Because of Chris's record, I think he's going to make that team a better football team. If you ask me, I still think that Winnipeg is there. They've got a good veteran team, a good veteran coaching staff. And then you've got Calgary and Saskatchewan that are just going to battle it out. But I think Calgary's going to do a lot better because they've got a team that was so young that got some of that experience. They're going to be better than they were last year.
I'm not done on this, and we're going to come back after the next break and talk more, but I need your take on my guy, Cody Fajardo, who is still my favorite player in the league. Player, you name. He's actually more genuine than you think. You meet him, he's nicer.
I've met him.
He's nicer than you even think.
Very good guy. Yeah.
Right. Is he a star? I think he's a star.
The guy can escape the pocket. He can extend the... Put it this way, he is perfect for the way the CFL is right now. You cannot have a quarterback like you can maybe in the NFL, but even the NFL is changing. They just go back and a pocket-type passer. In the CFL, you have to have someone to extend the play. Cody does it better than anyone. I mean, you look at him and you think maybe he wouldn't. You look at another quarterback and say he would be better at, but nobody is better at escaping the rush and buying more time and extending the play than Cody. So right now, that's why he's excelling in the CFL. I mean, I know Calgary, they had a hard time, just keeping him in the pocket and making him throw in the pocket because he gets outside the pocket, he sends that play. And with the big field, then the wide receivers can do their thing, and then you got the good, exciting plays of the CFL.
And we've seen it with Cody. I just don't understand why he's had to defend himself. And listen, you got Jones picking on him. That's just Jones. That's the way he's going to be. But in the Rider Nation, Greg, they're turning on Fajardo. And I was there.
I don't know why they would.
I don't eat. Well, they say it's because he called out his receivers. That's not a classy thing to do. And he's, when the chips were on the line, he didn't get it done. We didn't,
I call that maturity, Rod. He said a couple things he probably wanted to take back. But I said lots of things early in my career to the media I'd love to take back. I got in a lot of trouble from what I said. He won't make that mistake again, and he's going to be better. And everybody makes mistakes and learns from them. I think Cody's going to learn from that. But you look at him what he does on the field, and I would definitely have him.
He shouldn't have to answer any questions based on his play on the field. He shouldn't.
Right.
I'm with you.
Now, should he not have said that? I don't think he should have. He shouldn't have, but he's probably learned from it and says, okay, I'm not going to get trapped into that once again. I'm never going to say that again.
Can't say the truth?
Sometimes you can't, or you're going to get yourself into trouble, and you're going to get fans knocking all over you.
I know about that. We'll be right back with more. You're watching the RP Show live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
We are back. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, the place to be, Calgary's entertainment destination. July 28th, the Beach Boys coming to the event center here. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. Rock along with one of the most iconic rock bands of all time, the Beach Boys. July 28th here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. From our viewers, Pete just said in the break, what are we going to talk about? I said, we're the View for sports fans. Whatever we want to talk about, Greg. It's not as focused as you would think. It's fun.
It is.
It is a lot of fun.
Time, Rob.
Good. Well, I'm glad you came down. Hopefully we can do it more. The folks said, if you got to play, if Pete's going to come down, you got to pay him by the hour. And you said,
can't afford me.
Right. He just said, I can't afford it. He's a lawyer by trade. From the viewers here, we'll maybe bring in what the viewers are saying, Greg. And they got some questions. Christine, my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat is watching. She says, I hope Chris Jones has a rotten season in Edmonton. Wayne in Victoria, BC says the same thing happened to Darian Durant back in 2009 until 2013. Even after he won the Grey Cup, some people didn't give him respect. From Jack Fulton, whom you know well, from Vulcan, Alberta, I don't believe Cody or any quarterback should call out or blame teammates. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says when Bo called out his receivers after the Grey Cup 2017, he was lambasted across the league. Cody should get off no easier. I've been accused, Greg, if you can believe, of having green-colored glasses. Darian could do no wrong for me. Cody can do no wrong for me. So even when he called out his receivers, I'm saying, well, he's not saying anything that's not true. But you're telling me you can't do that.
I don't think you should. No.
Okay.
It could be true, but it's not. It shouldn't come from the quarterback. He should keep it to himself. And again, I think it's a maturity thing. Cody's going to learn from that. Probably never do it again.
Okay. You mentioned your history of BYU a couple of times. Very good friend of mine, Steve Sarkisian.
Mm-hmm.
What a career he's had, a BYU quarterback. Yeah. Do you guys have alumni stuff? Have you ever met Sark along the way? Or
I haven't. They got a great alumni.
Yeah.
I have not been able to participate in the BYU alumni as much as I'd like to because during football season I've been doing the broadcast. I'd love to go there, and I've only been to a couple of games. But it was a great experience for me. I loved it there. Played for Lavelle Edwards, a longtime great coach. Roomed with Steve Young on the road. We became good friends, and it was just a totally positive experience for me.
Good. Well, then I wonder if the BYU guys stick together. Ben Cahoon's another, right?
Ben Cahoon's another.
Steve Sarkisian, our American viewers would know, is the coach of the University of Texas Longhorns right now and doing great things. But there was a few things that Greg wanted to bring up before we let him go. And we've got lots of time here in this hour. But the biggest news I saw, football-related in Calgary last week, was that iconic speakers coming down at McMahon Stadium, the one that suspends over the stadium. What's the story behind that? I just saw the headline on it.
I think it's ready to fall down. Calgary's got itself into a little bit of a pickle. We have an old stadium. We have an old arena. And I don't see any real big light towards the end of the tunnel for the stadium. Hopefully, the city and the Flames will come to an agreement to build a new arena. I don't think you can be a world-class city unless you have decent facilities. Calgary doesn't. I'd like to see that changed. Now, I know there's a lot of people that totally disagree that you don't spend public funds for that, but I think you do. I think you have to spend some public funds. Not only that, the Flames owners are great people that give back to the community. The amount of things that and money that they put towards minor sports, charities, foundations is huge. To lose that if the Flames ever left would be catastrophic to the city.
Yeah, well, I think you need a salesman. I think you need a movement. And I've spent a lot of time here the last couple months. And as you know, I went to Mount Royal here. Or maybe you didn't know, but I've said to my friends lately here, this is as cowboy country as you get. How have you elected consecutive left-wing civic governments? I don't understand. And they just go, what's the answer to that?
We're getting into politics here now.
Well, that's what's going to get your stadiums built. So,
I think what's happened is you had a number of people running on this side of the spectrum of the political philosophy, and
they split it.
Yeah, exactly. It could be. Oh, whatever. I'm not here to knock City Hall, except I think we have to do something to get an arena built.
Yeah.
And you better do it. You better do it quick, or they don't understand the negative consequences that could happen to this city without the Flames. Or even, I like McMahon Stadium. I think it's got great sight lines.
I think it's awesome.
But it needs a major overhaul, if even an overhaul is practical, for the washrooms and the concourse and that, because people aren't going to come to football games if they have to go to the bathroom in unfit facilities. It's just not the way pro sports is nowadays. We have to correct that. And you went around the CFL. I went around the CFL. They're all very good stadiums now, except for maybe one or two. And Calgary's is becoming the oldest. Something's got to get done.
It's substandard, unfortunately. I don't think you knew that Jack Godo was my uncle. So when I
didn't know that.
Yeah, when I went to Mount Royal, he was here, and we would go to the games all the time. And I loved, so whether I was broadcasting or sitting in the crowd, you just said it. The sight lines are great. But a Renault's not even on the table, from what I understand.
No, nobody's even pushing it forward. And I know the Stampeders have tried. They'd like to, but it needs probably $100 million at least to renovate that place. And then can it even be renovated? I'm very good friends with Stan Schwartz, and he's told me that the infrastructure itself might not even be able to sustain it. But if they've got to do something to get it up to scuff for CFL standards, because I mean, Rod, you were the very first guy to take me on a tour of the new stadium in Regina. And it was just great to see that. And then you've got Winnipeg, and BC's very nice. And, Edmonton's old, but it's still a very, very nice stadium. And just when you took Mark and I on that tour to to see the stadium. It was great, and I thought every CFL team should have this. Calgary's far from it, with no light at the end of the tunnel. We need to get some light somehow there.
But you need a salesman, you need a movement. Yeah. And like you say, nobody's doing it. Let me say this about the Flames. This run that it looks like they're going to go on. I mean, I wasn't around in 2004 and not 89. I just missed it. Must have. Do you think that's coming again?
Oh, yeah. If the Flames go deep into the playoffs, this city's going to catch on fire. I'm in a little bit of a dilemma, though, because I love the Flames. They're my team. But because of my brother being with Nashville, with the Nashville Predators for many years, and the coach, and now still with them.
That's what they're going to play, eh?
I know. So I guess I'm kind of got an advantage. Whoever wins, I'm still going to be happy, is the way that
yeah.
But, I'm a big Flames fan, and I'll tell you what, if the Flames start to do well in this city, you are going, in the playoffs, you're going to see this city take off.
Mandy's watching in Edmonton, big CFL fan. She says, Rod and Greg have great chemistry. Enjoying your conversation today. Thank you, Mandy, as are we. And by the way, Greg is open to questions from the viewers, right?
Sure.
She's a huge Edmonton Elks fan, and I think it's kind of ironic that she got in a huge fight with Duran, and now he is an Edmonton Elk. But when that rink's rocking, one last one on that before we go back to football. I kind of sit in there, because I've been in a lot of Flames games, and go, are we need to be worried here? Because that place, like, it rocks when it's full. What is the safety situation of the Saddle Dome right now?
I think it's fine. I don't think it's as bad, and it's not as old as McMahon Stadium. McMahon Stadium was built back in 1960.
Yeah.
And so the infrastructure probably is pretty bad. I like the Saddle Dome. It's a great atmosphere. But is it up to NHL standards nowadays? Is it up to now the standards that you expect of a major sports city? No. And so we have to, like Edmonton, I mean, you go to Edmonton, they got the nice, big, beautiful arena. Calgary needs one way or the other.
Yeah, no doubt. We will take a break and come back with one last segment with Greg Peterson. Lots of time for that, though, and it's Taco Time Viewer Takeover. We got the text line working, 902-518-3033 for Taco Time Viewer Takeover. And, of course, you can get it going in the chat here. Mandy's got her questions coming in about Edmonton, so we'll get to that when we return to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network and, of course, live streaming on YouTube and rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games.
Play among legends at betregal.net.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. And big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
All right, one final time from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. I mentioned Mandy's watching in Edmonton, the big Elks fan. She says, I need a Duron Carter jersey for me and my little one. Hey, I agree. CFLshop.com is the best place to go. She goes, I love that Duron's coming on here. You know, I was just trolling him. I will welcome him with open arms, whether he likes it or not. Maybe that's where we'll go next with Greg Peterson, the long-time color voice of the Calgary Stampeders. And what was it? 9 seasons with the Stamps as a player?
Yeah.
And this is your 25th season with in the
Mark
booth.
and I, 25th year.
Silver anniversary.
I guess so, yeah.
You would have the Stampeders logo tattooed somewhere, I would think. All those years.
I am pure stamp, red and white, true blue.
Okay, yeah. That's awesome. What's been a good run?
Yeah, I went down to school in the States, got a scholarship down there for football, but I grew up in this city, and it's been a huge advantage to be able to play for your hometown, which is another thing the CFL a lot players get to do, and I'm all for that too. Back then they had what's called the territorial pick, where if you lived within Calgary, you could protect certain players. I was one of those, and I really liked that rule because it got people like Daryl Moyer was one of those. It got people who grew up and were part of the Calgary minor football system or Regina or wherever. They got protected so that they could possibly play for their hometown.
Don't have that anymore?
No. It's all just
I think they should go back.
I do. I agree with that because what it does is it makes players like Tony Spallettini and these players that grew up in Calgary and they end up staying here after and supporting the Stamps and supporting minor football, and they get to play for their hometown. Huge advantage for me.
Tim Hunter, similar story, and he sat on that chair, and you would know him well from Flames fame. Calgary guy, lived the dream.
Yeah.
And the
I played against him in minor hockey. Yeah.
Was he a goon then too?
Yeah, he was tough. He was a big, strong guy that kind of put the fear in everybody.
Well, he chose the right career. Maybe it chose him, but. The Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League also has that territorial thing, and I think it's great. Who would think that they're the most progressive sports league right now, but they are. But back to the CFL thing. Duron Carter in Edmonton, close friend of mine. I love him. I literally love him. Is the CFL better with him in it or not? What do you think?
I always think that players like Duron make the CFL a little better. He's unique, attracts media attention. So, yeah, I think anything to give good positive news. You don't want the negative stuff in there. The CFL is in a constant battle with the other leagues for the sports dollar attention, and we need to somehow grab it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and in the case of Duron, a very, very talented guy. I mean, let's be honest. October 2017, his first ever start on defense, the game was here.
Right.
You called it like we were side by side. What a night that was.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? He's a great athlete. I don't know whether he can make a comeback, but obviously Chris Jones thinks he can. But as long as you don't do things that are going to embarrass your team or embarrass the CFL, any publicity is kind of good publicity.
Yeah, well, you said you've coached. You're active in minor football here.
Yeah.
The one thing with Duron, not to turn this into the Duron show or anything, but I spent most of the winter in South Florida, and Duron's in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, coaching football. And he said it completely changed his perspective of the game.
Usually does.
Right. He said I had 40 Duron Carters that I had to coach.
That would be tough.
Right?
Yeah.
But again, that's why I think when he comes back with the CFL this year, he's going to be a different Duron Carter. Ryan H. on YouTube says, great chat with Greg Peterson. Love the show today, gang. I got to ask you about John Kirby in Edmonton. Which tournament are you going to in August, Rod? The Henlinka Gretzky Cup in Red Deer or the World Juniors in Edmonton? I don't know yet, John. I don't know. One day at a time, as my bracelet says. Just stay tuned. We'll let you know. Probably World Juniors in Edmonton. But you were saying about Craig Dickinson and the Rough Riders and Craig. It's an interesting battle every time those two brothers get together, hey?
Yeah.
What do you think it's like at the kitchen table or the communication between the two?
It's probably friendly because they're class people. I mean, I think two of the best Craig Dickinson has treated me so well. And he's just a class guy, as is Dave. So obviously they got good parents. But yeah, it could be they probably don't like to talk about football, but it would be interesting.
They couldn't. You know, I owned a restaurant in Regina, pizza restaurant, and Dave and Craig came in there one night before the game, and I asked them what they were going to talk about, and they said,
not football.
Not football. How could they get together and not talk about football? They're two head coaches.
They're professionals, too. That's why.
Yeah.
Two of the classiest guys in the CFL, and the CFL is better for having those two individuals.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So the Grey Cup is in Mosaic Stadium this November. And we all feel the excitement building. I think it's 21 days. Training camp's open in 21 days. Do you want to make a prediction here who's going to be in that game?
I always got to go with my Stampeders. Now,
sure.
I know I'm a big homer, but, the Stampeders, and unfortunately I don't like it, but I just think Toronto's going to do very well this year.
Is that right, eh?
Yeah. Toronto, they got Corey Mace, I got a lot of respect for. I talked to him before every single game. He's going to be a good defensive coordinator. I just don't know how they could raid the free agency market like they have and not go over the cap, but somehow they say they've done it. They got some good veterans. It's going to be them or Hamilton once again.
Well, they went over it a couple of years ago, and the league forgave them. Remember that?
Yeah. That's because they feel like they have to have something there in Toronto that's good.
Exactly.
It's got a problem. I'm sure that's something we could talk about, but Toronto's got a problem in the CFL. They can't seem to attract any fans. It's just a very difficult situation.
And there's been a lot of smart people go through there and not be able to figure it out. Just a quick one. We only have 90 seconds, but Don, Navy friend of mine, says, Greg, do you think that Stampeders could have more visibility in southern Alberta? How would you answer that?
Well, I think they could. So, but they try. You just get busy. But I think, they could do more things where they're going there for camps or whatever, because northern Alberta seems to get the Elks. Southern Alberta should capture the Stampeder fans.
Outreach.
Yeah.
Outreach is the key. Greg, I hope to do this again with you. I always enjoy the visit.
Do it again. Thanks a lot, Rod. It's been a pleasure.
CFL All-Star, Grey Cup champion Greg Peterson, and into his 25th season on Stampeders Radio. Always on CHQR, by the way?
Always on CHQR.
Wow.
Yeah, very classy radio station. They've treated me very well.
That was quite a run.
And all of them. Yep.
Big thank you to Enoch Mwamba as well, Scott Flory today. Who we got tomorrow, Clark? What's coming up the pipe tomorrow? Matt Kellett, very long-time friend of mine, kicker great, Orange Theory Fitness here in Calgary, a Rams national champion too, and Jason Greger from TSN 1260 Edmonton. It's going to be great. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern here on Game Plus Television. We don't know what we're doing.